Hey guys, it is Amy Elkins here, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today is What If Naruto Was a Nara Part 5, and so yeah, without further ado, roll the intro. There's going to be an invasion from the sand. Naruto, I know you're good with Ninjutsu, but can you create a Bijuu seal? Hiruzen asked. Yeah, I think I can, Naruto replied. Okay then, we will change the matchup slightly. You will be facing Gaara instead of Sasuke, and Sasuke will be fighting Neji instead of you. During your fight, I want you to place your Bijuu seal on him, so that when he falls asleep, Shikaku does not fully emerge. The seal, from what I know, is quite weak. Okay, Naruto replied. Now, what I want the rest of you to do is prepare your defenses and don't slack off. As soon as the invasion starts, I want you to protect the civilians, Hiruzen said. Oh, and one last thing, Naruto. Would you like some help in creating the seal from Jiraiya the Sannin? He is quite good with seals and can help you create the Bijuu seal, Hiruzen said. Thanks, but I'm good, Jiji-sama. I needed to prep on my own, Naruto replied. Okay, Naruto, you can leave. As Naruto was leaving, he heard, Okay, Kabuto. Okay. Kabuto managed to escape while we were interrogating him. We believe he's meeting with a Sand Jonin tonight. Hayate, I want you to follow them and try and listen in and report back to me. I better follow him just in case his cough gets him in trouble again, Naruto thought as he walked away. Several hours later, Naruto was watching Kabuto talk to the Sand Jonin, Baki. Naruto was using the transparent escape technique, the same one Hayate was using to hide while he listened to the conversation. Naruto then saw Baki discover Hayate and start chasing after him, so he followed. When he caught up, Naruto saw Baki preparing to slash Hayate with his wind sword. Naruto also saw Kabuto watching from a different place. He would probably step in if Baki wasn't able to take down Hayate. Nothing can stop a wind sword, Baki said, as he slashed downwards. Naruto dashed towards Kabuto and performed the body replacement technique, switching Kabuto with Hayate. Kabuto was hit with the full brunt of the wind sword, slashing him right across the chest. But even as he fell, Naruto could see that he wasn't dead. In fact, he was starting to heal somewhat. As he fell forward, Baki noticed there was an explosive tag note attached to the back of his head. As the explosive tag went off, Naruto was checking Hayate for any wounds. He only found a kunai stab wound to his shoulder, which Naruto quickly bandaged. Get to the Kage Tower. I'll hold off the Sand Jonin. I don't know for how long, so try and get there as quickly as possible, Naruto said, turning back towards Baki. Hayate cast one look at Naruto before taking off towards the Kage Tower. Naruto performed some hand signs and said, Wind style, death by 1,000 cuts. Baki didn't seem alarmed at all, as none of the wind blades landed on him. Surprised, I coated my body with wind chakra. You're a smart kid, but I'm afraid you bit off more than you can chew. Now die! Baki said as he was preparing another wind blade. Maybe, but I'm not dead yet, Naruto said, pulling out and throwing 3 Fuma shurikens. Naruto coated them in wind chakra and threw them. Baki dodged them all and ran towards Naruto. Naruto didn't have any time to perform the Return of the Hidden Lotus, so his Return of the Hidden Lotus to curve the Fuma shuriken back towards him. So instead, Naruto simply shouted, Ninpo, pointed weeping, while doing the snake hand sign. Senbon began to fire rapidly out of Naruto's mouth. Baki dodged almost all of these and created another wind sword and slashed at Naruto. The wind blade and Baki's whole arm passed through Naruto as if he wasn't there. Gotta love space-time ninjutsu, Naruto said while he was panting as he took off with a body flicker. Using that little intangibility was actually space-time ninjutsu. It was quite hard for Naruto to pull off, but he managed to do it. After a couple of minutes of running from Baki, Naruto arrived in the middle of a training ground. He quickly summoned Shirakawa and told her to go into her third stage. When Baki arrived, Naruto was standing in a white birch tree, running through some hand signs. He stopped on a strange hand sign that looked reminiscent of a deer. Baki's danger senses were telling him to run, but he didn't react in time. All the leaves in the tree exploded off of it and were frozen in midair. Baki's eyes glazed over, and he turned around and body flickered to his hotel room. As he was leaving, Naruto whispered, "Genjutsu, vivid dream." Vivid dream was a genjutsu that made the user believe that what had happened before they last fell asleep was a dream, and it was a dream. It was very hard to break out of, because the target was basically asleep after it was set into motion. But when they woke up the next morning, if they had proof that the dream actually happened, it rendered the genjutsu useless. As soon as Baki left, Naruto thanked Shirakawa as she turned back into her deer form and poofed away. He then body flickered to the Hokage's tower and told Hiruzen everything that he'd learned. 1 month later, Naruto had been training extremely hard during the last month. He had learned multiple new jutsu that would help him against Gaara. Naruto also set up a deployable Shadow Clone army. Flashback. Naruto was standing on top of the Hokage monument. He was currently painting a seal on the Yondame's head. He then sealed the scrolls he had brought with him into the seal. Naruto had applied the seal so that when the invasion started, all he had to do was perform a single hand seal, and the seal would shoot out all the scrolls Naruto had brought with him and sealed into the scroll, high into the air, over various points around the Leaf Village. When the scrolls started to fall back down again, they would release over 1,000 of Naruto's Shadow Clones, collectively, which would land all around the village and start repelling the invading forces. Flashback end. There was a slight change in the matchups, Genma said. The first matchup will be between Naruto Uzumaki and Gaara of the Sand. Everyone else, please leave the field. As soon as the fight started, Naruto jumped to the opposite side of the field. Gaara then started sending tendrils of sand after him, but Naruto kept dodging again and again. "You know, I'm not really impressed with you right now. All you're doing is just standing there and not doing anything. If you need to prove your existence, I'm going to need you to use all your sand," Naruto said cockily, hoping to trick Gaara into using all of his sand. It apparently worked, because Gaara got a crazed look in his eyes and pulled out all of his sand. The guard on his back disappeared completely. All of Gaara's sand was enough to cover half of the field in an inch of sand. It was all floating in the air. Thinking fast, Naruto performed a water technique that covered the entire floor of the arena, turning the dirt into mud for about 2 inches down. Naruto did this so that Gaara could not use his pre-existing sand to crush the ground to create even more sand. After he did that, all of Gaara's sand rushed at Naruto, who smiled, and pulled his shirt up to show a reverse 4-symbol seal in his chest. All the sand got sucked into the seal. Another Naruto, the real one this time, then emerged from the ground and rushed towards Gaara. As Naruto was running, his entire hand lit up with what looked like blue flames. On his forearm appeared a lot of small black writing in ink. When Naruto reached Gaara, he slammed the hand onto Gaara's stomach and shouted, 8 trigrams, 6-point seal." Gaara flew backwards and passed out. Then, feathers started raining down from above, and Naruto knew the invasion had begun. He performed the tiger hand seal, and the seal on the Yodame's head shot 9 scrolls into the air. Thank you guys for listening. I will see you next time.